China is on the brink of a technological revolution, forging ahead with the SAQP process to unlock the secrets of mass-producing 5-nanometer chips. This bold initiative represents China's strategic response to overcome stringent international restrictions on advanced lithography technologies, positioning itself as a future leader in the semiconductor arena. But what does this mean for the global balance of technological power and the future of international tech relations? Continue following our coverage as we examine the sophisticated details and broader significance of China's aggressive push in chip technology. A state-owned enterprise based in Beijing has initiated research into a multiple patterning technique aimed at enabling mass production of 5-nanometer chips. Nora Technology Group, a company listed in Shenzhen, recently began studying lithography systems utilizing self-aligned quadruple patterning, SAQP. This approach is known to enhance chip density and performance. Despite the potential advantages of SAQP technology, it requires significant investment in specialized equipment and skilled personnel. For instance, the technology relies on precise control over the patterning process to achieve the desired outcomes. This often involves extensive calibration of equipment and ongoing training for operators. The process also introduces complexities in aligning multiple layers accurately, which can increase the likelihood of defects, thereby impacting overall yield and efficiency. Such challenges underline the need for continued innovation and adaptation in manufacturing practices to keep pace with technological advances. According to sources familiar with the matter, Nora decided to pursue SAQP technology in December 2023. It was disclosed that Secarrier, another Shenzhen-based state-owned enterprise collaborating with Huawei, secured a patent related to SAQP in late 2023. Bloomberg noted that Secarrier had filed patents for this technology back in September 2021, during the same period when Nora was engaged in the project. According to some technology experts, SAQP is considered an older and less advanced technology. However, it could still aid Huawei and Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corp., SMIC, in their efforts to produce 5-nanometer chips without relying on ASML's extreme ultraviolet EUV lithography machines. Others caution that achieving success with SAQP could be a challenging journey. Since the technology rivalry intensified between China and the United States starting in 2019, Washington has urged the Dutch government to restrict the export of EUV lithography machines to China. The U.S. holds critical patents necessary for the development of EUV systems, giving it significant influence over this matter. To understand the broader context, the EUV technology that China seeks access to represents the cutting edge of chip manufacturing, offering greater precision and efficiency than previous methods like DUV or SAQP. The EUV systems can pattern incredibly small features directly onto silicon without needing multiple patterning steps, which makes them highly sought after for advanced chip production. However, the geopolitical tensions and trade restrictions have prompted China to seek alternatives like SAQP, which, despite being less efficient, provides a viable short-term solution to bypass technological limitations. Starting January 1, 2024, the Dutch government ceased issuing licenses for the export of ASML's advanced deep ultraviolet DUV immersion lithography systems, including NXT 2000i, NXT 2050i, NXT 2100i, and newer models to China. ASML is also restricted from selling established DUV lithography systems like NXT 1970 and NXT 1980 to certain sanctioned Chinese entities, as outlined in ASML's 2023 annual report. Among the sanctioned firms are Huawei and SMIC, although they still have access to DUV lithography systems through secondary markets. The impact of the Dutch government's decision to halt the export of advanced lithography systems to China extends beyond immediate production capabilities. It signals a shift in global supply chain dynamics, potentially leading to increased investments in domestic technology sectors by affected countries. This situation may accelerate innovation as firms seek to develop or source alternative technologies to maintain competitiveness. The ripple effects could influence not just the semiconductor industry, but also related sectors like computing and telecommunications, underscoring the interconnected nature of modern technology industries. Just days before Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte in March, news broke that Carrier had obtained a patent related to SAQP technology. During their meeting, President Xi asserted that China's technological advancement cannot be halted by external forces. He emphasized that imposing scientific and technological barriers and disrupting industrial and supply chains will only foster division and confrontation. She also urged the Netherlands to ensure a fair and transparent business environment for Chinese companies. In response to these developments, Beijing-based writer Zhang Yun highlighted in an article that while the use of SAQP technology may seem straightforward, it poses significant technical challenges. Historically, the development of lithography technology has been a key driver of the semiconductor industry's growth. The transition from larger to smaller nanometer processes has enabled the production of faster, more energy-efficient chips. This evolution reflects decades of research and billions of dollars in investments. The push towards 5-nanometer and smaller nodes is not just a technical challenge, but also a strategic imperative for companies and countries aiming to lead in technology. For China, mastering SAQP or similar technologies is crucial to maintaining competitiveness in the global market. According to Zhang Yun, technology giants like Intel Corp attempted to utilize SAQP technology for mass production of chips, but eventually abandoned it. Despite this, he expresses confidence that Huawei will achieve mass production of 5-nanometer or even smaller chips in the future. Currently, details about Huawei's chip yield and production costs for 5-nanometer chips are not publicly disclosed. In a social media post, a technology expert mentioned that Intel indeed employed the SAQP technique for chip manufacturing but faced challenges such as increased use of photomasks, especially for the metal layer due to additional cutting processes. The SAQP technique is often referred to as a brute force method because it involves pitch splitting, where a pattern is divided into 2 or 3 parts. To achieve SAQP, self-aligned double patterning, SADP is applied twice. In the SADP process, lines are initially patterned on a hard mask using photolithography. Then, spacers are formed on each side of these lines, and the original pattern is removed. The spacers then serve as the final pattern for etching the hard mask. An analogy for this process could be likened to planting 2 new trees next to each existing tree in an area, and then removing all the old trees. This effectively doubles the density of trees in the area. The analogy of SAQP technology to planting trees highlights the methodical and layered nature of advanced chip fabrication. Each step in the process must be precisely executed to ensure the final product meets stringent performance criteria. This method, although more labor-intensive and time-consuming than newer technologies like EUV, allows for detailed control over the chip features at a smaller scale. Despite its complexities, SAQP remains a crucial technique in the semiconductor manufacturing arsenal, particularly for countries and companies working around geopolitical restrictions and technological barriers. According to statements made by Alex Said during an interview with BNE TV, a pro-Beijing Chinese TV channel in New Zealand, achieving 5-nanometer chips with the current DUV lithography system in China typically requires 6 exposure rounds. Tsai, a former legislator from Taiwan with a PhD from Tsinghua University, pointed out that increasing the number of exposures tends to decrease production yield. Tsai noted that the SAQP technique has the potential to enhance yield. He suggested that SMIC could leverage this technology to achieve mass production of 5-nanometer chips. He mentioned that China is also exploring the potential of utilizing Canon's nanoon print lithography in the future, aiming to circumvent the U.S. export restrictions on chips. Nanoon print lithography operates by transferring images directly onto silicon wafers and other substrates using replicas of a master stamp created by an e-beam system, requiring fewer layers of alignment compared to traditional methods. Moreover, the development of alternative lithography techniques like nanoon print by companies such as Canon reflects a strategic diversification in chip manufacturing methods. These techniques offer different trade-offs in terms of cost, speed, and scalability. By potentially integrating nanoon print lithography, China could mitigate some of the limitations imposed by international restrictions, fostering a more resilient and self-sufficient semiconductor industry. This move could also stimulate further advancements in the field, encouraging innovation across different aspects of chip production. As China continues to push the boundaries of semiconductor technology with the SAQP process, it not only challenges existing technological norms, but also reshapes the geopolitical landscape of global tech manufacturing. This move could herald a new era of innovation and competition in the semiconductor industry. How do you think other global tech leaders will respond to China's advancements in chip technology? Will this prompt a race to develop new manufacturing capabilities? Feel free to share your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section below. Don't forget to become a part of the Revel Discovery community by hitting that subscribe button to stay informed about the latest technological advancements and innovations. Explore endless tech possibilities for an exciting future.